All right, so let's say you at your homegirl's house, y'all chilling, and she asks if you can braid her hair. Now, you've only braided hair a couple times. You're a professional at it, but you're not a beginner. And if you had to actually measure your skill level of braiding hair, you would probably say it was right up in here. You're not new, but you're definitely not a professional, right? And so you braid her hair, and the outcome, lo and behold, is great. I mean, she's impressed, and you're definitely impressed because you did not expect that outcome to look so good. And so after doing her hair, you come up with the bright idea that, you know what? I want to make this a business. I want to create a business out of this because you're a very creative person. You actually enjoy braiding the hair and you want to make money off it. So once again, here's your skill. You've only done it a couple of times. And so you say that you want to have your business up and running within 2 weeks, but within 3 months, you want to make, let's say, $20,000 within 3 months. So you start to try to do the work that actually goes into building that business and making the money. But you notice that every day you wake up, you just feel really, real anxious. You feel stressed out by the thought of even building a business. You feel stressed out by the thought of even trying to achieve this goal. I mean, you feel overwhelmed. You procrastinate. You seem to always want to put it off, and you're having a hard time trying to figure out what's going on. Well, let me tell you what's going on. This is your skill. Your skill is right here. And this is your challenge. Your challenge all the way up here. Now you're new at this, right? And you have a huge goal. So when your goals and your challenge line up, there's one of three places it can line up. Your challenge can line up over here. And outside of this line right here, when your challenge is up here and your skills meet your challenges over here, we call that anxiety. This is where anxiety happens. You're outside of flow. When you're anxious, it's because subconsciously you know that you don't have the skills to actually meet up to your challenge as of right now. Now that can definitely change when you put in the work. But as of right now, you just don't believe that you have the actual skills to meet that challenge. And so every time you think about it, whether you consciously think about it or not, subconsciously you're feeling you know that you don't have the skills. So you're gonna be way more likely to hold it off and push it off. You keep pushing back the timeline, So instead of 3 months, now it's 6 months, now it's a year. Or you keep pushing it back further and further and further. But you're trying to figure out why did you enjoy it so much when you were doing your homegirl's hair? Well, that's because you were what they call in flow. Your skills actually met the challenge. So when you were doing your homegirl's hair, she was your friend. You know her. It's just one person. And when your skills met your challenges, you were right here, right there in flow. So you actually enjoyed it. And then even more so, you actually enjoy the actual outcome of it. So now you take a step back and you're like, all right, my goals are too high. So instead of trying to make 20K in 3 months, what I'm going to do is just make $50 in 3 months. And so you set your goal all the way down here. And now your skill matches up right down here. So what happens now? Well, you feel bored. You no longer have the motivation. You're trying to figure out what happened. Like, I remember when I first had this idea, I was turned up. I was ready to go. But now I feel bored. I don't have the motivation. Thinking about building a business, braiding hair means nothing to me. Well, it's because your skill is way higher than your actual challenge. And so once again, subconsciously, you know you can do better than that. You know you can do more than that. You can do more than $50. And so that's what lies on the other side of flow. So here's flow. This is what you did the first time you did your homegirl's hair. It met right there. That's flow. But when you outside that, your skills are actually greater than your challenge. You end up being bored, having lack of motivation. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that your skill that you currently have matches the challenge that you were setting for yourself. Now remember, let me tell you this. Your skills should always be improving. Always in life, your skills should always be improving. It's never going down. You can never go back down in your skill. You never should. It should always be improving. And your challenge as well should always be improving. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the thing that we're going to adjust. So if you're right here today, this is your skill, you braid your homegirl hair. So now make your challenge, instead of $20K and instead of $50, make it $5,000 in 3 months. You're new at this. So what's going to happen? You think about $5,000, you're like, now I'm pretty confident I can do that. That's like one person every weekend. I mean, I'm not sure how much money hairstylists do, but if you're somebody new, you're not charging that much, you feel pretty confident that you can make $5,000 in 3 months. And so now when you go to do hair, now when you think about it, you're hustling. You feel like you can't be stopped. You feel you're enjoying what you're doing. You feel a whole lot of energy. Well, that's because now you're in flow. Everything matches up. Your skill matches your challenge. You feel really good about what you're doing. But now because you're actually attempting to get this goal, what happens? You're actually practicing. When you're braiding someone's hair and you're doing the work, that's actually practice. But not just any practice, it's purposeful practice. So as you're purposely practicing to get to this new skill, your skill is actually improving. So when you get to this goal, it's not like you're still going to be right here. You're going to be more like over here. So now your skill's over here. And you got to the goal. You did 5K in 3 months. Well, you're like, all right, let's see what I can do in 3 months again. What you don't want to do is put your goal for 5K again. Because what happens again? Now we're in boredom. You're going to be bored. You know you can do more than that. You just beasted on 5K in 3 months. You can do more than that. So what you need to do is now we got to up the ante. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry about the 20K. We're going to get there. You're going to get there, but you got to keep hustling with flow. So now what you're going to do is you're going to increase the challenge. So instead of 5K in 3 months, bam, we're going to go right here. Now we're going 15K in 3 months. 15K in 3 months. So when you think about that, you feel turned up, you have energy, you're motivated, you're not stressed. The challenge is definitely there, but you truly believe in yourself, consciously and subconsciously, that you can obtain this goal. And so what happens? In 3 months, you put in the work, you do everything you got to do, but at the same time, like I said, you're purposefully practicing. So your skill is going to increase. So bam, you hit that 3 month mark, you get your 15K, you probably even make a little bit more because you're in flow. That's what happens when you're in flow. A lot of times when you're in flow, when you find that correct balance, you're likely to actually overshoot your goal, which is a great thing, right? So 3 months go by, you got your 15K, and guess what? Your skill continues to increase over and over and over and over. So don't just hustle for the sake of hustling. If you are trying to attempt to meet a challenge, meet a goal, but you feel like you're anxious, you're always procrastinating, you're always pushing it down, or you're always bored, you need to probably take a step back and readjust your challenge. Readjust your challenge. It's the only thing that I recommend adjusting. I don't recommend trying to decrease this. And I don't even want you to be on the mindset that you can actually adjust that. Just always be improving. Always be improving. Every day you should be in progress. But your challenge, that's what you should be readjusting. Maybe it's too big for you right now. It's not to say that you're never going to get to it, but just for right now, the reason why you feel the way you feel is because it needs to be readjusted. You need to either decrease it or increase it. All right? So let me know what y'all think. Other than that, I'll holler at y'all later. Hustle with flow. Peace.